Hey guys, Travis here with Lear's Trophy Taxidermy Studio. Today we're going to show you how to skin out your deer. And then we're going to go through, show you how to cape it out if you want to do a shoulder mount. And then later on we'll take and show you how to cape it off the head, remove the hide off the head if you want to do a trophy mount out in like the Badlands area or someplace like that where you don't want to haul all that excess stuff out, or chronic wasting disease is an issue where you can't haul that brain matter or bone matter with. So we'll get started here. I'll show you how to cut around the legs and bring it down, and then we'll show you how we take it out around the bottom shoulders and the brisket area here. Okay, so the first thing we want to start with is we've got our deer hanging here from our gambrel. So there's this Achilles tendon back here. You want to make sure that you don't cut that. So what we'll do is just inside this little cut is just start pulling some of this hide away. And always want to make sure that you cut outwards. That way you get underneath that hair and you're not cutting as much hair out. So just work your way around that tendon. Okay, so we got that free. So then what we'll do is we'll come on the inside, and basically from the incision that you make from field dressing it, just come in on this back ham and just make a straight cut up to the shanks. And you can just clear some of this membrane away to give you a little more area to work with. Okay, so now what we want to do, just so we can free this up, is just come up around by the shank and where the kneecap is, and you'll just cut and make your way around that leg to free it up so we can start pulling the hide down. Just work that free from all the meat. Try to take as little meat off as you can and keep that hide as clean as you can. That way it's less work for your taxidermy to do, but also try not to cut the hide if you can. And just put a little tension on it and pull. You just have to run your knife real light and that membrane will come right off. Okay, so we got this side down pretty good. So now we'll jump over, do the same thing on the other side. So what we'll do is we'll just come in, just cut inside this ham, and just work our way up. And you can actually work it into the cut that you have on that Achilles tendon. Make sure not to cut that. So then you can start working some of this skin free. Then you just want to make an incision going around this to break that hair free. And just keep working your way around the leg. And then once you get it free, a lot of times what you need to do is just grab it, and a lot of it will pull right down. So you see we've got a lot of membrane coming here, so just cut that loose. You can just keep pulling. So back here in the tail area, there's actually a bone that runs through there. So we'll get this hide pulled down a little bit. And typically you can just cut right through that bone if you can find the right area. So again, you just grab the hide, just pull right down. Clean some of this off. Okay, we're going to raise this up and then we'll get down to the shoulders and the head. Okay, so what we're going to do next, we've got the hide halfway down the body. So right about the back of the rib cage is where you would normally want to make sure that you don't make any cuts or anything, because here forward down to the head is what your taxidermist will use for a shoulder mount. So what I'm going to do now is just remove the bottom half of the front legs. So what we'll do is we'll find that joint in there and we'll just cut the hair around to open that up to remove that leg. Okay, so now that we have the hair opened, what we want to do is find the joint. So you can kind of see there's some tendons moving in there, so that joint's going to be right in that same area. So just make a cut right around there. It looks like I'm a little bit low. Okay, so then what we can do is just hyperextend that leg, and that'll break all that cartilage loose. And you just cut that right off. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll just continue caping this down, and this whole thing will come off like a sock. So the hide on the legs, once we get down past that front shoulder, that'll just come right off, and then we'll come down through the brisket up the neck, and then we'll end up taking the head off. So we'll just keep working on this. And again, you can just pull it, get as much of that cartilage loose as you can, keep as much meat on the hide or the body as you can. Okay, so you'll notice here, as we're working our way down, we're getting to the back side of the shoulder. You can see where the shoulder comes in and meets up with the torso of the body. So now we just want to work our way around that and get that opened up as well. Because ultimately what we're going to do is we're going to come back underneath this hide, get underneath here in that shoulder, and then we'll just pull this right off. So once you get into the brisket here, where that kind of meets up, you have to just cut inwards like that, and just make sure you're back behind that shoulder and you won't wreck that hide then. Okay, so what we're doing is we're working our way around here, and ultimately we should be able to get our hand in between that and get that freed up. Make sure not to go too deep here, because you're in that crucial area where the brisket is that comes up on the neck. So if you cut through that, it's going to be a hole in your cape that's going to be really hard to fix. So as you keep working that, this hide will keep getting easier and easier to pull down. So you can just keep pulling this, bring it down along the legs, and then you can actually use the hide to start working with you. And just take and keep working that down. Eventually it'll pull right off of that leg. So there's one free. So there's the other one. So now we'll just keep working our way down the neck. Lay the hide out so it works with you instead of against you. And just keep trimming as you go down the neck. Okay, so we're going to call that good. So we're going to show you how to remove lymph nodes in another video. So I'll make sure I leave plenty of neck on there. So next, what we'll do is just cut through the meat on the neck. Okay, so now that we've got our hide skinned down to just behind the skull there. Like I said, I'm going to leave a little neck meat on there just so I can show you guys how to remove lymph nodes here later on. But basically we cut around the spinal cord there. And I typically just take a Sawzall, or you can take a bone saw or whatever. Just go in, cut that off, and free the head from the body. So there you go. Now your deer is ready. You got your hide all taken off. And you can go ahead and let this thing hang for a day or two, let it cool. Make sure you keep the temp down 40 and below, just to keep that meat nice and cool so it doesn't get spoiled on you. Thanks for watching this one, and if you're looking to learn how to skin it off the head of the deer, go ahead and find the next video on our page and we'll show you how to do that. Thanks for watching.